Have you ever wanted to do pull-offs like this on the ukulele? In this video, we're going to be talking about two different things. We're going to be talking about the pull-off technique and how you can use it to create sounds like what I just demonstrated. And we're also going to talk about how to hold the ukulele, maybe a little bit differently than you normally do, to facilitate this technique and others in your playing, to give it the support it needs to be able to play as awesome as that sounds. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it is we're going to be playing, and I'm going to move the camera down. It looks something like this, and this is taken from the tune The Gale. I actually did a full arrangement. If you'd like to check that out, it's linked down below. You can also check out my Patreon page for a tab of this whole arrangement. But for today, right now, we're just going to work on this one measure. And let's go ahead and break down how to play this measure. We're going to play just the open E and A. I'm going to use my index and middle fingers on my playing hand. Then I'm going to play open on the A string. Then I'm going to play 3 on the A string with my ring finger here. And then I'm going to do a pull off to the 2nd fret with my middle finger here on the A string. So that's the first thing we need to talk about, is the pull off technique. A pull off is essentially taking a finger that's fretting and plucking the string to make a sound without any use of our playing hand. So I'm going to play this 3rd fret here on the A string with my playing hand, and then I'm going to get the sound of the 2nd fret by plucking the string here with my fretting hand. There's a couple tricks to this. One is make sure that this middle finger here on the 2nd fret is really stable and not moving, because that's what's going to provide the resistance for this ring finger now here to actually bend down and pluck the string, just like you pluck the string with your finger here. It's the same type of motion, just done with the fretting hand. This is what makes it a little bit uncomfortable and different if you haven't done this before, but that's how that tone is created. So just practice this a few times with me. We're playing 3 on the A with our ring finger here, and we're going to pull off to 2 on the A with the middle finger here. Now, despite the name pull off, you're not just pulling the finger off, right? You are actually plucking it to create that sound. Now, if we look at the tab, after we play this pull off there to 2, we're supposed to pull off again from 2 to open. And to do that, we're going to take this middle finger and we're going to do the same thing, but to the open string. And oh my God, I almost dropped my uke. That's actually exactly what to expect right now with this. So the uke's going to kind of fall as you're working on that. And remember, at the beginning of the video, I said we're going to work on the pull off technique and also a way to hold the ukulele and make it easier. This is where that comes into play. When I play this 2 and I pull off the 2, my thumb is kind of squared back here, right? And when it's squared back here, when I pull off there, there's nothing holding the ukulele up anymore unless I'm using a strap or kind of bracing with my hand here. Because we're finger picking this, there's no real way to brace the hand to play through this. So you can wear a strap, and honestly, if you wear a strap, you can stop the video now and continue practicing. But if you want to learn this without a strap, this is where a different method of holding becomes important. Again, normally we're taught keep our thumb squared just behind like this, right? And that does work for a lot of things, but not everything on the ukulele. And what we need to get comfortable with is this. What this is using this first knuckle ball here on your hand to support the neck of the ukulele. When I have it like this, I have complete control over the neck of the ukulele. The problem is the finger angles all change. I can't do a bar chord like this. I need my thumb squared behind to do it. However, with some chords, like maybe you're playing an F chord or a G chord to a C chord, that thumb can actually be up and over with the ukulele actually resting on this knuckle ball right here to provide stability and support. This is a correct method to holding the ukulele, as is this. They are both right. It just depends on what it is you're working on and what you're playing. In the case of doing this particular exercise shown on screen, having the ukulele resting on that knuckle ball is going to be correct to support the ukulele to be able to get these pull-offs. So let's go and take a look at the first few notes again now, with our ukuleles kind of resting here on this knuckle ball. We're going to play the open E and A, open A, play 3 on the A. The ring finger is going to go here to the 3rd fret of the A string. Notice how it's not straight up and down like it was with my thumb squared behind. It's a little bit tilted. The fingernail's kind of towards my shoulder. That's totally fine. My thumb up here is just kind of not pushing, but kind of cupping the neck just like that, providing support and stability. I'm going to play the 3 on the A. I'm going to put my middle finger here on 2 of the A as I play it. And now I'm going to do the same pull off to 2 on the A. The pull off used to look like this, and now it looks like this. You see that the motion of the finger is still going straight down in respect to the frets, but because the fingers are at an angle, it feels like I'm kind of doing it a little bit more at an angle. But the reason this is so important is because now with this second finger here on the 2nd fret of the A, I'm going to do another pull off to 0. And as I do that pull off, you'll see my ukulele is supported right here at this knuckle joint. Same logic. I'm still plucking the string, but my finger is just a little bit angled. So those first 4 notes should sound like this, or 5 notes rather. Notice that double pull off being used, 3 pulling off to 2, pulling off to 0. If I go on here and continue the other half of the measure, I'm going to play 2 on the A again with my middle finger here. Pull off to 0. I'm going to play open on the G. If you're playing a low G, you'll notice it'll sound quite a bit different. I recommend trying it with a high G, but for the sake of getting the technique, it's okay either way. Then we're just going to play open A, open G, and open E. Really straightforward for the end of the measure. That's actually why I love this melody so much and why it's so much fun to play on the ukulele. So again, check out the full tutorial if you haven't already. But these pull-offs now, with the support here, make it so that I can play this really efficiently and effectively. And what that means is efficient, I can do it consistently, right? I've got this completely in control. And the effectiveness is the tone, how good it sounds. And if you listen, it sounds awesome. If I were to try it with my thumb squared behind, it would look like this. Can't do it. Because the thumb being squared behind, I can't really play those open strings even because there's nothing but the friction of my thumb on the neck. I'm struggling so much holding the ukulele, but if I use that knuckle ball right there, right at the index, I let the neck sort of fall. Pretty cool, right? Bringing the camera back up to me. This is oftentimes told as a wrong technique by guitarists usually, because I believe on the guitar it's incorrect to fret that way. I don't know though. I'm not a guitarist. I'm not a guitar teacher. I'm a ukulele player and a ukulele teacher. And I can tell you with the utmost confidence, this is a technique that the best players in the world use to facilitate these styles of playing. You can also use it when strumming and doing other things. It's used all over the place. Basically, the way you know when you should be playing like this versus like this is open string representation. When you have lots and lots of open strings when you're playing, maybe you're coming on and off the fretboard consistently, you're usually going to be bracing it more like this. If you're doing more bar chords, especially 4-finger chords, it makes a lot more sense for the thumb to be squared behind to kind of give that support. So it just depends on what it is you're playing. In addition to this picking exercise, you can also just try playing like C, F, and G, playing it with your thumb up like this, where you're supporting it on that knuckle ball, and then also playing it with your thumb squared behind. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. Again, check out that full arrangement of the Gale. It's a ton of fun to play, and I look forward to seeing you all for the next lesson. Thanks so much.